Oh no.
Welcome to Soup's Kitchen. Now you're probably asking, where's Soup? Why are we being serenaded by another unfamiliar angelic voice? Is it a screechy Soup fairy you're all familiar with? Well, I'm Puzzle Beast Angel, and unfortunately, an evil witch known as Steppy the Throat Virus, which stole her voice. So I'm narrating for her final part of 3 mediums, 1 drawing challenge. No, Soup did not make a recap simply because she couldn't be bothered to, so if you haven't seen the previous video, please go watch it and get the proper backstory into the adventure Soup has been on for the past month. So if you want to hear more of this beautiful voice, you should check out my Twitch on twitch.com/puzzleangel0. Start, Soup had to figure out how the hell was she going to transfer her original digital drawing into her canvas. So she took a bit of tracing paper, traced over her design, and just pinned the tracing paper to her canvas. Then she took her project on the road as she was taking a journey with her family to a distant land to celebrate her father's day of birth. Sir Brian, he is amazing. You probably noticed that the strange canvas Soup has chosen. This is a beloved blanket from the Norwegian maze known as IKEA that Soup has conveyed for many years. And Soup, IKEA is not Norwegian. It's Swedish. Like PewDiePie.
But can you do this?
If you have remembered when she posted this short to YouTube, the devil's spawn known as Mr. Bentley Whitecracker Darcy. Fortunately, these years of love couldn't save Soup's precious blanket from his teeth and claws. So she now uses the blanket to practice her embroidery, as she still treasures and adores the blanket, even in its imperfect scarred state. going over tracing paper actually worked quite well for her, much to her surprise. However, smart she felt, it was short-lived. Soup forgot the beloved words of her favorite art teacher, Miss Key, failed to start sewing from the background of her piece. Instead, like a fool, Soup started in the front. So by the time Soup was embroidering the background of her drawing, it was falling apart like tissue paper. Anyway, tissue paper aside, her idea worked. Thus, she had returned home and started embroidering the background, this time remembering to heed the words of Miss Ski, and she used all 6 threads of her yellow embroidery thread for the yellow sunlight in the background. She thought it would help her layer colors and other elements that she was going to add later on. She did not bother to take into account that any lighting she knew her skills for embroidery were just simply at new level, not Master Oogway level, so she treated this more like a ink by numbers, but with a thread and a dangerous sharp object. Off the background of her own time because she had no memory left in her camera nor her brain due to the previous 2 speed paints, which hopefully you have seen before you watch this far in the video. If you're a virgin to this experience, then Soup has led you through. Again, I urge, and Soup urges you to watch the first part, otherwise you might be very confused on what the fuck is going on! Then it was time to move on to the leaves. She wanted to do different styles of French knots to emulate leaves, giving them a fun texture. But after some trial and error, Soup realized she didn't actually know how to do a French knot, so she quickly looked it up on Pinterest. far into the leaf zone and started adding some yellow, realizing it was the same yellow as the background. She stopped after 3 knots and didn't pull them out because, again, she couldn't be bothered, so she left them. She embroidered the terrarium using 2 threads, a simple straight stitch, not bothering to make it look remotely transparent, as she didn't feel like donating her fingers to Satan for such power. She already had done so with her beautiful watercolors skills. She then realized her piece was lacking the kind of thickness found in this Instagram.
Grand Rapids, right.
So she used all 6 strands to make the corners, and the same for the pot. But she tried to do a weaving technique and tried to make the pot stand out against the other thick, fearing the pot would fade in the background. Because she had her 1004th birthday and had to welcome 2 little beautiful gremlins into her life. You can watch them and see her beautiful face fit, so you should check out her Twitch too. Back to embroidery. She again continued experimenting like the little mad scientist named Frankenstein, whom everybody thinks that's his monster is named after. It was not. His name was Charles. Not really. He didn't have any. At this point, It was getting quite difficult for Soup to embroider on her blue canvas because it was being pumped full of thread, and Soup is not the neatest seamstress. Soup, come on. taking a break to explain things that your eyeballs may or may not be able to see, to talk about Soup's notes for this overall project. If you may have noticed that Soup had been sewing this whole damn time upside down, which she should caked her face with clown makeup now as doing what was a mistake. She was unable to have the proper perspectives as she sewed, so Ophelia looked more like a deranged muppet than the sweet innocent puppo she appeared to be in Soup's initial drawings. She's still in a beautiful pup. What are you talking about, Soup? All in all, consider this to be another rush attempt to make art. As she stated before in the previous video, if you still haven't seen it, then only God can help you now, because you've come too far to turn back now, so suck it. I guess. No, suck it. Watch her previous. She considered the final product of this embroidery endeavor to be just okay. Except for Ophelia looking like a deranged, demonic, fuzzy nightmare. Still love her. Soup's camera once again ran out of space, so she had to finish the rest of this project in her own time. So, onward to the reveal! Subscribe, like the video, make sure that you go follow Soup too on her Twitch, because she's an amazing, wonderful soup fairy that I've had the pleasure to know for these past 3 years, so please